Wouldn't it stand to reason that the propaganda we call news media is lying to us about Israel? Well, I think that's too easy to just dismiss the news media as lying propaganda, right? There are areas where the news tells you the truth, and then there are areas where the news media has an agenda, and different forms of news media have different agendas. So you have to use a little discernment to figure out what is the agenda of this particular media outlet. Buy Bitcoin. I don't see the need for cyber currencies. I think they're a scam. Do I side with genocide? If you're a nationalist, if you intensely love your people and want to protect it, you will be willing to do anything to protect your people. Sometimes when you've got rival peoples in one location, the war between them will not end until you have one decisive winner. So recognizing that within all national identities is the capacity for genocide, I think is just being real. And there are all sorts of arguments about how Israel has waged a just war and kept the number of civilian deaths to a minimum and has been exemplary in that regard. And it strikes me there are equally strong arguments that Israel has been reckless with civilian lives. Here's the deeper issue. On a scale of 1 to 10, down through history, a nation decides to go to war. What level of importance does it accord to the suffering and death of civilians among the enemy? So here's my perception of human history, about a 1 out of 10 level of importance, perhaps 2 out of 10. So when the United States went to war with Germany in World War I and World War II, what importance did the United States place on reducing German civilian deaths? Right, maybe a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. Think about how much do you care about some random tribe in Africa or somewhere in Asia? You don't, right? Human beings don't tend to care much about strangers. So if I ask you to give me an indication of how much value you put on the life of your own people versus the lives of enemy, how would you apportion it?